Everyone ready? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again. We're here at the Carbon County Election Office, along with, I'm Wayne Notesign, Commissioner, Chris Lukasevich, Commissioner, Lisa Dart, our Election Director. We're happy to announce that we do have some numbers for you as of about 3 minutes ago when we received the copy. We finally completed our scanning of all the mail-in ballots. So we'll give some brief numbers. Now, remember, these are all unofficial. Tomorrow morning, we'll have a meeting at 9 o'clock to officially open up the canvassing of the ballots. So total votes cast were 33,065. Total votes cast. Joseph Biden, 10,989. Donald Trump, Pence, 21,595. The election day totals for Biden were 5,050, mail-ins 5,223, 670 absentees, 46 provisional. For Trump, it was election day was 18,221, mail-ins were 2,456, absentee 690, provisional 228, for a total of 21,595. So
We'll provide them.
we will provide copies after the conference here. Chris, anything to add at this time?
Yeah, I'll just highlight the specific categories. So on election day, we had 23,623 voters who went to the polls. We've had 7,782 mail-ins. We've had 1,378 absentee ballots cast, 282 provisionals, and mail-ins post 8 p.m. on election night, we received a total of 34, 27 yesterday and 7 today.
That will be included, that were postmarked in time.
Correct.
Okay, because then we have some that will not count.
Sure.
Lisa, any comments? Or are you finished, Chris?
Yep.
Lisa, any comments?
So I just want to let you know, we do have military that we received, that they have the extra days to do that. I probably have about 20, give or take, that I have to, we'll scan in. We also have the original 625 provisionals that once canvassing begins tomorrow, we'll be scanning poll books and coordinating to make sure those people, didn't sign the poll book, got the provisional, and those will be scanned as well over the next week.
Any other comments? If not, we'll start with questions in the media, channel 16.
Just to confirm, you said that you are done counting?
The preliminary, yes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Right.
And these are all unofficial results.
Right, and then you'll wrap it all up tomorrow morning?
We'll start, we will,
No.
no.
Tomorrow morning, we have an official election board meeting where we officially open up the canvassing process, and we'll recess the meeting, and that starts the recounting of all the votes, basically.
So the verifying of the numbers and the information, the provisionals and any other ballots we might have. Understanding we are receiving those mail-ins through the United States Postal Service through 5 o'clock on Friday.
Okay. Any other questions?
So this is a process that,
It's a
Could
process,
wrap up.
a normal process that
Yeah.
we do every year. It's just took longer to get it to that point
Well,
this
so,
year.
so normal canvassing always begins on the Friday after the election at 9 a.m. But because of the whole law changes, we had the pre-canvass. We don't normally do the pre-canvass like that. We would start doing the actual canvass tomorrow at 9. So that's what we're gonna continue.
Maybe you should explain the pre-canvass real quick for those that were not here yesterday.
What we already did.
What we've
What we
done.
already
Okay.
did on election day.
So when all the mail-ins and absentees come in, we check them for signatures, that they're completed, everything that we can see obviously from the outside. They get scanned in, that they were received. Once they're received, we file them. And then at the pre-canvass, we print the report of everything that we received, and we double check what ballots are there, make sure everything's accounted for. Once that was all done, the first day, we did that on election day, we started to open the absentees, then next the mail-ins, and that's what we just finished up today.
And
in
that's what we
between-
started on Wednesday, though.
Correct. Well, the
Oh.
mail-ins, we started Wednesday, right. But I mean, overall, we just did it that way to keep it separated. Military was also included, and, I think that's it, I mean, those provisionals that.
They get the,
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, I've been checking the last couple of days on the county website for results. Was there something going on with the website? It seemed like I couldn't click to the most recent result maybe for the in-person tally. Something going on the website or no?
the Board of Elections made the decision, it would be better to send the tabulations direct to Department of the State and allow dissemination to work through the Department of State website, right? To ensure there's not any differential, right? Because there's always delays, pauses. It was most efficient for us to send them direct to state, as we always do, and direct people to the Department of State website to get those tabulations as we sent those in.
Reason for that, they weren't always being uploaded at the same time. People were calling, it was creating a problem for us as far as answering phones. Why is there a difference? So if we go to one source, that's the number we have right now, the official number going to the state.
In elections past, sorry, has it been that way or have you normally posted them to the website in years past?
They had been posted. And I think in the future, what you'll see, we'll put a hyperlink right there, front and center, on our website, which just redirects you to Department of State.
Well, and also, I mean, in years past,
Yeah.
this wasn't anything that we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, the totals came back in election night, and that's pretty much all you had,
Right.
except for the absentees.
Yeah.
So it's just, we just want to make sure everything was clean and clear to everyone.
Any other questions from the news media?
How would one of you three describe what it's been like here over the last couple of days?
You don't want me to say.
If
Well, I'll
you
tell you
could just
what.
kind of take us inside these walls.
I'll tell you what, for not just the last few days, but for the last 2 months already, since the process of applications for mail-in ballots opened up. We hired 3 other part-time people to come in and assist. We've been supplementing those people. We only had 2 full-timers in the office. We had brought in additional people from under the commissioner's offices to help fill in and keep up with the mail-in process, because you think you just can't give you an application and get your ballot. We have to process it, we have to send you the ballot. So it was extremely time-consuming. We have to go by districts, precincts, et cetera. So it's been extremely time-consuming, stressful for the elections people. We were getting different directions all the time from Department of State, trying to get answers. They were extremely busy with phone calls. We have to wait for callbacks on the different issues or questions that we had here. And as of yesterday morning, we received email from Department of State, with things we had to do. So it's been extremely challenging for our election directors in particular and their staff in all the election offices, not only Carbon County. And we certainly hope that after this election, after we get through all this, that the boards, the election directors, the legislators, the Commissioners Association, and the Department of State can get together and, hey, let's talk about some of these issues, the problems we had with timelines, especially changing it from 30 days for the application for the mail-in ballots to 1 week before. It puts a strain on everybody, especially if we had that last day for the application. People were coming in the door all day long thinking they could just get their ballot. It doesn't happen that quick. We were so backed up. We had to process it. They could come back later and get
The
it.
early voting, that was
The early
the
voting,
confusion.
yeah,
People
it's,
thought they could walk in.
So it creates a problem. And then with the postal service, if we got those applications on the last day, we had to process it, put it in the mail, it had to go to the people, and it had to come back immediately. And unfortunately, in this election, we're getting a lot of calls and complaints that they could not vote when they went to the polling places, okay? Because we sent out all the ballot applications. They did not take their ballot with them to the polls to prove that they had one, to surrender it, more or less, and sign a paper that they were gonna sign,
Surrender.
elected,
Surrender.
surrender their vote and go through the process and vote at the polls. Most people didn't realize it. A lot of the people did not remember checking off the box in the primary that they wanted to be on the permanent list to receive the ballots. Created a huge problem, and with all the mail from everyone sending out political cards, posters, and everything else, unfortunately, a lot of people destroyed their, unknowingly destroyed their ballot unintentionally, and they go to vote and they can't surrender their ballot because they threw it away, lost it, or whatever. So there were a lot of votes, not only in Carbon County, but throughout the Commonwealth that were not counted because of the process.
And I would say in recognition of Veterans Day, and actually in recognition of Wayne and I being veterans, no plan survives the first contact, right? So as soon as the polls open, things just were significantly different. The long lines, the people coming in with mail-in ballots, without mail-in ballots. So the elections officer and all the volunteers, the poll workers, had to demonstrate extreme dexterity and flexibility and responsiveness throughout the entire day. And at the end of the day, we ensured that every voter had the opportunity to cast their vote in Carbon County. And that is success. And we're meeting the deadlines also now placed upon the tallying or tabulation of votes. So at the end of the day, regardless of the controlled chaos that may have seemingly ensued behind the curtain, and at the end of it, everything has met the objective to have a safe, transparent, and ensuring that every voter had the opportunity to cast their vote, and they have here in Carbon County.
In a couple of weeks, when things settle down, when we caught up and get back to normal, what we're hoping to do is put out a report. How many extra man hours were put in this year for this election compared to other years? Because of hiring those extra people, bringing them from other offices. Yesterday, or election day, I should say, we had, 9 extra people here.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we had 8 extra people here. The pre-canvassing, there were 8 there alone, just doing the pre-canvassing, opening the envelopes, checking off the names, making sure everything is safe. One of the things I want to point out to the voters as well, they're all calling, how do I know my vote was counted? If you voted at the polls, okay, you signed your name, you got your ballot, you deposited in the scanner, it went into a bin. Eventually that, when they get caught up, that will show up on the state site,
No.
or, I'm sorry.
So
Weeks
later-
after the election, the
After the
Department of
election, yeah,
State publishes the entire voter roll that is
And then-
publicly available for a fee, and you can check how you voted, be it mail-in, absentee,
Correct.
or otherwise on
It will
that.
not tell you how you voted.
Right, it will
just
tell you the method,
voted.
right.
You know, we scan all the poll books, anyone who signed it, obviously their name gets scanned and
Yep.
their vote date changes to 11/3.
Yeah.
I know what you were referring to, so we're getting inundated with calls that people think they can go on the ballot tracking website on the department if they went to the polling place.
Right.
They can't. The only time they can track a mail-in or absentee, and that's actually what it states, mail-in or absentee ballot tracker, is if you did a mail-in or absentee. We probably got about 80 calls in 2 days. So, I mean, we just wanna get that out there because
Right.
it's getting crazy.
You guys really increased the pace today of counting the ballots, went from what, about 1,000 counted yesterday to all 8,000 today?
Well, yesterday prior, we were doing all the other absentees, et cetera, the provisional and the riot, just pre-canvassing, continuing with that part. So, once we got those others out of the way that we can concentrate on the mail-ins, it went a
Yeah.
lot smoother. We put additional people here
Yeah, we
to
put
help
four
with
extras.
process, open the envelopes, et cetera.
Yeah.
And it kept moving things a lot faster. Yesterday, we told you, we didn't think we'd get done today. We thought we'd have to go into tomorrow, but the staff here, everyone that
Yeah.
worked here, worked long, hard hours.
Yeah.
And tedious work, doing the same thing for 10, 12 hours.
There's no doubt our human resources is our most important tool. But that letter opener cutter, doing 400 up to 400 a minute, what a difference when you're looking at over 20,000 envelopes, right? For the secrecy in the outer envelope. So that was a very great investment, well-spent investment in the county.
And that's what we did yesterday, that's why the pace seemed quicker.
Yeah.
All of them were opened yesterday, so we just had to empty them. So it went a lot quicker when we had about 9.
Yeah, open them, flatten them because they are folded, had to flatten them,
Yeah.
and run them through the scanner.
Today was flatten and scan them.
Mostly, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yesterday you talked about the number of naked ballots and rejected ballots. Do you have an update on that?
Do you have any more?
No,
I would
did it
say-
change from yesterday?
Yeah, I would definitely say over 50 naked ballots.
Okay.
Maybe 4 no signature.
One blank one?
Yeah, we had a blank ballot, we had an empty envelope. I think that's about it.
And how many of there were about 600 provisionals yesterday. How many of those were accepted?
Well, that's what we start canvassing tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're gonna start scanning the poll books, checking if their signatures are in, if their signatures aren't in, then of course the provisional's gonna be scanned.
If you voted in person, if you go to that votespa.org, I know you said that it will not record your vote on, what will it say?
It just says you're not found, so
So
everyone's
that
getting
doesn't
really
mean that
upset
your
about
vote
that.
didn't count.
It's
Right.
just they can't track a ballot that you scanned at the polling place. So once we go through all the 51 districts in the poll books, if you went to the polling place, there's a barcode after your signature, that's what we scan in. So your record will now say you voted 11/3/2020.
Thank you.
Steve, go ahead.
You're gonna give us totals before we leave here.
We'll give you
Are the state real office candidates in the Congress included?
Yeah,
Not, oh, wait.
We have
They all-
Auditor General, State Treasurer, reps for Congress in the 9th,
Yep.
in the 122nd and the 124th.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.